Podcast time. Get your popcorn, get your soda, all that shit. Welcome back. Very glad to have you listening this fine morning or evening, depending on where you're at. For today's episode, I want to talk about amortization versus simple interest. A lot of you guys have been hitting me up recently talking about, okay, Otto, I need the breakdown of what is one type of interest versus the other. So I want to give you the tools to know how to function within the loaning business, the loaning industry, how you want to loan to yourself, what loans do you want to pay off first, which ones to keep. So let's not waste no time, man. Let's get right into this shit, bruh. What I want you to understand first is that the main difference between amortizing loans versus simple interest loans is going to be the amount that you pay towards interest. It's pretty much that simple. So with amortizing, the amount you pay towards interest is going to decrease with each payment. With simple interest, the amount that you pay towards interest is going to remain the same. So you understand that? And with amortizing loans, typically that's going to be more of a long-term thing, whereas simple interest is more of a short-term. So when you think long-term, you're thinking personal loan, auto loan, mortgage, things like that. With the simple interest, you're thinking credit card, line of credit, right? Now, a lot of my audience, you're trying to get some type of financing. That's why we have the crypto banking program showing you how to build your own bank so that you can borrow from yourself. But for most of us, we don't even have enough money to start. So we might go to some type of financial institution to get some money to start up our bank, which is perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. But we want to be able to understand how much X amount of money is going to cost us. So to do that, you got to understand how you're going to pay back the loan. And this episode is dedicated to understanding how one payback method will be different versus another. Okay? So hopefully you guys get some value today. If you do, make sure you leave a like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell and leave any questions that you might have in the comment section so I can either type up a response to you, or if it's something that I'll have to get more in depth with, I can either hit you up via email, or maybe respond in the comment, or maybe do a whole damn separate video. All right. So with amortization, that's a loan that you're gradually going to pay off over time in accordance to your set schedule, which is also known as an amortization schedule. So with this schedule, it's going to show you how to pay down your loan. It's going to give you the whole life of the loan, and you can see how each payment goes to interest, what part of the payment goes to the principal, and then, however many months that you have the loan for, that'd be how many payments that you have. The thing about amortization that I like is that it's going to give you an exact payment plan. So you can use that plan to kind of compare to how much you're going to be cash flowing per month. And you can kind of allocate that and budget that directly based on the schedule. Amortized loans, they can amortize daily, weekly, monthly. More than likely for the consumer, most of the time it's going to be monthly. There are exceptions to every rule, of course, but generally speaking, you're going to be paying every month. The interest in an amortized loan is typically going to compound, and your payment frequency is going to determine how often that interest compounds. So with a loan that amortizes daily, you'll have interest that compounds daily. With a loan that has weekly payments, it'll compound weekly, and yada yada. But the most important thing is that amortized loans start out with high interest payments that are gradually going to go down over time. And this is because with each payment that you do, you're only going to be paying interest on the remaining loan balance. So if you think about it, it's logical that you'll be paying the most at the beginning, because that's going to be your biggest amount to pay off at the beginning of the loan. And then with each subsequent payment, larger amount of the payment will go towards the principal. And since you're paying interest on a smaller loan amount, then the next payment goes down, then it goes down, and it goes down. The payment stays the same, but the amount of interest will go down each payment. All right. So hopefully you understand that. I want to move on to simple interest now. So when you have something that is a simple interest type of loan via credit card, line of credit, HELOC, things like that, the portion that you pay for the payment will always be the same in terms of the interest versus principal ratio, right? Meaning the amount of interest that you're going to pay over the life of the loan will remain the same over the life of the loan. So it's not going to change. When you make that payment in January, the same amount is going to go towards principal and interest. When you make the payment in February, the same amount will go towards principal and interest. And that's why it's called a simple interest loan, because it's going to be the simplest expression of your interest rate. So simple interest is the interest you'll pay a lender in addition to the principal, and is expressed as a percentage of the principal amount. You see what I'm saying? To break it down even simpler, it's like this. Simple interest is going to equal principal times interest rate times duration of the loan. Very simple. Very simple. All right. So now that you understand both types of interest, let's dive deeper into the key differences between these two accrual methods of interest. So for starters, with an amortizing loan, each subsequent payment, you'll pay more towards principal, less towards interest. With a simple interest loan, you'll pay the same amount towards principal and interest with each payment. With amortizing loans, they also tend to have compounding interest, whereas simple interest loans have simple interest. You see what I'm saying? You get it? So if your loan has a simple interest rate, the interest calculated is only for the principal amount. A compounding interest rate means the interest is calculated both on the principal loan amount and the accumulated interest. So the rate at which compounding interest accrues depends on the compounding frequency, whether that be daily, weekly, or monthly, which typically will match the payment frequency. So the more payments that you make, the more compound interest you'll accrue. The last key difference is that amortizing loans tend to be longer term, and simple interests are more often short term. So because of this, amortizing loans tend to have higher cost of capital. Even though your payments may be lower, you're making more of them, so it costs you more in the long run. With simple interest, you'll have a lower cost of capital, meaning you'll pay less overall, but each individual payment will be higher and, possibly could strain your cash flow. So you want to be aware of that. Match both types up, see which works best for you. All right. Another thing you want to be aware of is that if you do pay some types of loans off early, some have prepayment penalties. So you want to be aware of that. I know that it's not common, but it's more likely to happen with a simple interest loan than a amortized loan. Generally, amortized loans won't have a prepayment penalty, but simple can. Amortized can actually, but it just depends on the terms that the lender has set for you. So be aware with that. Talk to your lender about that. Make sure you're aware of what's going on so that you take the best course of action. Another thing I'd want to recommend for you to ask, you want to ask for something called the APR, or annual percentage rate. The key difference between the APR and the interest rate is that APR provides a more comprehensive look at how much you'll pay when you take off the loan. So an APR is going to factor the interest rate along with any fees that you pay for borrowing, otherwise known as origination fee or application fee or closing fee. And APRs also take into account the repayment term of the loan. So basically, it's the total price of borrowing money expressed in terms of an interest rate. So see if you can get the APR. APR will include a lot more than just the interest rate. You can get a better grasp of how much the money will cost you. So I feel like I've wrapped that up pretty good. Hopefully you guys understand that. If not, go back to earlier parts of the video, just re-listen, listen again. Eventually it'll click for you and you'll be able to navigate better within this financial workspace. Another topic that I want to get into today, I want to talk about creation versus consuming. I think a lot of us are caught up in consuming certain things, whether it be food, drink, music, entertainment. The clearest example I could give of creation versus consumption is like a sandwich, right? So many of us, because, either we live in America or, some westernized part of the world where you got to move fast, you got to move quickly, you got to think on your feet. We're going to go to shop. We're going to go to the shop and we're going to buy a sandwich, right? Because we don't have the time to make that sandwich. Right? So we consume rather than create. And even when you think about something like YouTube, generally, we're in this space of watching YouTube as opposed to creating our own. And I want you to be in the mindset of creation, because personally, I believe that's a key to success. Keeping your mind focused on creating something rather than consuming. See, when you consume, a lot of the times you can get caught up in the problem, but when you decide to shift the mindset to creation, you can become more aware of solutions. Your mind just opens a lot more, as opposed to when you're consuming, your mind tends to be very closed, very shut down, because you're so focused on taking in rather than giving out. And I believe giving, especially when you're giving value, something that someone else can find valuable, you create more value within yourself. And I also personally believe that you become richer because of that. I've seen it throughout my own life. I've seen it in the lives of people that I look up to, my peer group, my mother, my father, those that I love and respect. They have all found ways to create value within my life And in exchange, I want to create value in theirs in whatever way possible. And creating value ain't always giving someone money. A lot of times it's not going to be giving them money. Even though you can do that, it's nice to do that. It's nice to get things for people, but a majority of the time, your value will be created through an experience that you can give someone. If you can create a valuable experience for another person, you will create a lot more value for yourself. You will make so much more money. And I only know this because I've seen it. This is not something that I want to regurgitate from someone else. This is something that I hold important to me. This is something that I try to transfer to my audience. I know a lot of you guys want to start YouTube. I would say don't think about it. I don't think about it. When the spirit moves me to create a video or record a podcast or whatever, I create. And because I create in that manner, there's no pressure in terms of what I need to do versus what I want to do. Everything kind of flows, and I see the comments kind of flow, and I just let things build the right way. I'm not here to be everyone's champion. I'm not here to be on everyone's set schedule, even though I do want to create a schedule for this. But as of right now, I'm just focused on the creating. I'm more focused on the winning than the structure of it all. And I think over time I'll gain the structure, but right now I just want to win. I just want to create. I just want to bring something new to the table. And like I've said on previous podcasts, this audience is unlike any other audience that I feel is on YouTube. You guys are very open-minded. A lot of you guys are left-handed. I'm finding out, which is kind of interesting because I'm left-handed as well. So it feels like I'm just attracting 10% of the world, to my channel, which is awesome, because I honestly don't want everyone watching this. I don't want everyone listening. I only want the people that want to learn and want to grow and want to build. I want to do this for them. I think it's more important to do it for the people that want to listen as opposed to trying to do something for everyone and having myself spread in all these different areas. Pause. You know what I mean? I don't want to spread myself too thin. I want to, keep it contained, keep it solid. Speaking of containment, very briefly, I want to talk about this coronavirus. I know many people are talking about it. I just wanted to give my thoughts on the coronavirus and how I feel about it. Personally, I feel that if your immune system is strong and you are able to fight disease through the daily practices you do every day, whether that be, meditation, breathing, exercising, eating healthy, drinking water, going to the steam room, sauna, things like that. If you're doing these things every day, I feel generally you'll be okay. I feel generally you'll be able to fight any disease because your body is going to be in a mode of just, and I don't know the right terminology. I'm not going to pretend to know enough, but I just feel like when you are in your healthy power, it's hard to get you sick. I know when I'm focused on something, I know it's generally harder for me to get sick. I don't know why, I don't get sick very often. And I do attribute that to just being focused on certain things. I don't really focus on sickness. I know a lot of people are focused on the scare. And what I've noticed is the people that focus most on the scare, like the germaphobes, tend to get sick the most because their body doesn't build natural immunity. They try to do artificial immunity via medicine and drugs and all these different things, things that don't really benefit the body. They just kind of shield the symptoms of sickness. Also, in a moment of transparency, I'm sipping on Perrier and strawberry this morning. So we got the Perrier and strawberry. We're feeling real bougie. Let me sip on this. Hold on. It's good right there. It's very good. Very good. Very good, buddy. Very good. Far as updates with the channel in particular, I have a couple more of these talks already recorded. So I'm trying to record and get these shits out to you bang, 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 like back to back to back to back to back, and just you know, give an overflow of content for you guys to consume. I want you to be able to binge on my content. I want you to be able to just listen. You might get 2 or 3 points out of one, and then maybe in the next one, 5 points that you didn't get in the last video just, click for you. So that's how I plan on doing it. Like I said before, man, I love the audience. I love you guys. I really appreciate all the love I've been getting. I've appreciated all the criticism of my work and what I've done so far. You gotta love both sides. You gotta love the likes as much as you like the dislikes. You gotta love the people that don't agree with you and the people that do. You got to love both sides. And I think as this channel grows over time, because I already know this channel is going to get a lot more controversial. I have been listening to the, recordings that I'm doing, and I'm becoming more open on how I feel about certain topics, which I know will get me in trouble over time, which is fine by me because I really don't care about this internet stuff. Internet fame is not something that I'm looking for. I'm just a guy with an opinion on certain things in terms of financial literacy, in terms of life, in terms of living, in terms of, love and all that shit. I just have my own opinion. I have my own way of thinking. And I believe my own way of thinking allows me to connect with who I need to connect to. As long as I stay within the truth of myself, I'll connect with who I need to connect with as an audience. So I ain't really too worried about it, bro. It's been a journey so far. The channel is growing very nicely. The other day I got to 600. I want to say it was like 2 days ago at the time of recording. I got to 600 subs. I never thought I'd have 600 subs. So I'm really pleased about that. I'm projected to get to like 700 within like a month. So this channel is growing faster than what I thought it would. And, it's truly unbelievable that people want to listen to my bullshit. So love you guys. Love you guys, right? I didn't want to take too much of you guys' time. I also wanted to ask, did you guys want more longer podcast talks or shorter in multiple parts? I really don't know how I'm going to do it just yet. I know some people have been asking for longer ones. I don't want to take too much of you guys' day. I kind of like to condense it to like 30 minutes at the most. So like it's something that you can listen to, on your lunch break and be able to listen to the whole thing. Or at least if you can't listen to the whole thing, you damn near finish it. Depending on how you're living. But that's been my plan for content creation, but I'm always open to opinion and open to criticism and this, that, and the third. But anyway, y'all, don't want to take too much of your time. Like I keep saying, I love you guys. You guys are the best audience that a man could ever ask for. As far as crypto banking goes, if you having trouble, understanding the mechanics, hit me up via my email and, get in tune with me. Let's talk. I can help you set it up. I got my program still going strong. Shout out to all the students of the program building their crypto banks. Seeing a lot of success in that, a lot of lives being changed. So, don't miss out on the opportunity if you're thinking about it. And, other than that, I'm out of here for now. Much love to you guys. Stay strong, stay blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.